Hi everybody, I just want to welcome you back to my channel, and I wanted to share with you right now a little experience that I just had this afternoon when I got back from my walk. And my typical routine is to take a shower and then meditate afterward. It's just a really good time to relax and get into that kind of a frame of mind where you are more able to connect with your higher self and your guides and your angels. And so that's what I was doing, and I had something come in during that meditation that was completely unexpected. I had not set an intention beforehand to, with this thought in mind at all. And after this happened, I fell asleep, and then I woke up and it just really started processing even more about the importance of and significance of what had happened. So I just wanted to share it with you. So in one of my earlier videos, I shared that my kind of most recent struggle regarding my twin has been with it, really having patience with the fact that he's still with his girlfriend. It's been almost a year that they've dated. And some of the things that I know that have come to me from my guides and higher self and from his, is that his current girlfriend was his father in a past life. The kind of the most impactful. They've had a lot of past lives together. She's a very significant soulmate. So I know that they've, really experienced a lot of attraction, and, the soul vibration is there for that. Of course, I also know that this is a karmic situation that they're working through. And what has come to me is that it's really about him standing up and coming into his power, because it had been a pretty abusive and controlling relationship, between him and her when she was his father in a past life, and that it was about him learning to stand up and take his power back. And of course, I think that's been a theme for awakened twins. We've been going through those same kinds of things, and our counterparts are as well. So she's there in his life to, show him these lessons. I'm not really sure what his lessons are to teach her exactly, except that, maybe just like, balancing out that situation. So, I'd understood that. And for the first several months that I knew that he was dating her, I was really kind of okay with it. It just wasn't something that really was bothering me, but it started really bothering me recently. And that's what I had pretty much been working through over the last month, because it started triggering me back into some old patterns of worry and impatience. You would never guess I'm impatient. That's been a lesson that the universe has been teaching me over the last 2 years, not only in regards to my twin, but with my business and with other things in life. I've just had a huge slowdown, and it's just been an amazing time for personal growth and development, but it also has taught me patience, because I've had to just surrender those things. So I was getting kind of impatient and, really feeling like, I know it's time. I know that he's finished with these lessons, or almost finished. It's just time for us to be together. And I don't think that I'm wrong about that. I think that that is the truth. My soul is telling me that. But on the other hand, the result was that there were two things that were happening. First of all, I was, getting lower into a, lower vibration, and, not a good space myself by focusing on, its time and that impatience. And then also putting in pressure on him that wasn't helping. And so this is what happened when I was meditating. I, had a completely clear mind, and I was just getting into that really deeper, state of meditative state. And then all of a sudden, it just came upon me to speak to my twin, and to let him know that I love and support and trust him in his current situation that he's in, and for him, and to tell him deliberately and very, purposefully, that I trust him to know when the time is right for him, when he's fully learned a lesson, and when the time is right for him to move on. And I really released it, like, in a profound way, and not like, in the sense of, and I do believe in this, like, if you are led and you realize that there's something you need to accomplish, that even if your heart and your feelings aren't there, that just saying the words is really important, because that can lead into the heart being there. It's not going to make a full, complete difference until your heart is in that space as well. But speaking the words, if your mind recognizes, your wisdom recognizes that you need to make a certain, shift, say the words, say them over and over, intend, put it out there. then the feelings will come. But in the case of what was happening with me in my meditation, is it like I was already there. It's kind of the place that I've been shifted over to, or it is the place. I think that for me, the transformation that came in from the full moon in Scorpio was to shift into a space of truly saying, I know my twin is on his way, and whenever that's going to be, it's going to be. I feel and I believe, and in my gut, it tells me that it's going to be soon. But that I, wouldn't, I just got out of that space of pressure. And so when I was saying to him in my meditative state, I said something along the lines of, I love you and I forgive you for any of the pain that this situation has caused me. I'm sorry that I've put pressure on you, and I trust you. I know, your divine wisdom that you have is enough to lead you to make the right decisions at the right time, and I completely trust you in doing that. And then I decided to speak to her as well, and I said the same thing to her, and I even added, and again, this came from a very genuine place of thank you for being in his life and for agreeing to take on this role to, be the mirror, to mirror back to him the things that need to change. And that gratitude came from a very, very real, genuine place, because I've recognized this before, and I'm sure you have as well, that the karmic relationships that our twins are in are teaching them very important lessons that they need to know in order to be able to come to you and have the slate, be all cleared out, all of the energies cleared, and so that the template can be redesigned and remade, and that you can move into the new. And, first of all, our energies, when we're together, we will push each other apart. So we can learn these maybe things from a distance, but we're not going to be the ones in the relationships with our twins to teach them these kinds of things. It's going to take a karmic soulmate partner to do that. And so we need to, really bless and thank them for the role that they've taken on. I know that on, the 3D ego level, she's going to go through a lot of pain, because my twin is an amazing person. He's freaking gorgeous, beautiful, amazing personality. He makes lots of money, has a big house. But he's just a genuinely really good person. And so he's kind of like the ultimate catch for anybody. And I know that, anybody would look at that, and any woman would be just, not want to let that go. And so I know that by agreeing to take this on, she's agreeing to take on, a lot of pain. My feeling about that is that, like all of us who have gone through pain in relationships that have, have brought us pain, we've learned from that. And so, in that is an opportunity for her to have some growth and prepare her for her next relationship. I feel like, I don't know this for sure, but I feel like she had been recently divorced, and so she hasn't been single very long, and then they got into this relationship, and she is a very good person. That was what my twin has said to me. She's like, she's just a really good person. And I get that about her, she really is. But it's not, unlike my marriage that I was in for years that prepared me for, ultimately being with my twin. And again, he's a good person, but we became toxic for each other. And we had, a point that just came where that relationship was never going to work. Our souls knew, very deep inside of us that those relationships weren't the right thing. And so when the timing was right, our souls pushed us on. So, yeah, that's what came to me. And then I fell asleep afterward. And then when I woke back up, I was just like, wow, that was really amazing, because all of that just came in this state of meditation, that I hadn't planned on and set my intention on ahead of time. So I guess the thing that I would recommend for you, I think this is a kind of a concept and a, like a lesson or some progress that any of you could probably take into your own experience, because I think a lot of us are struggling with this kind of situation. And so then my suggestion would be to you to try it. Do it from a state of meditation, because that's when you can really get out of your ego mind and get into your higher self. And then, just start speaking to your twin in that way. even if you're not at a space where you feel like doing it and you don't want to, good things can still will come from you saying it. And then it finally brings me to my final point that I wanted to make, which is that our twin counterparts are highly evolved souls. I do very firmly believe that those of us who are on the twin flame path, we are light workers. We have been in other worlds, whether you're from the Pleiades, that's where I'm from. My twin and I separated a long, long time ago, and he spent most of his life in Andromeda. And, whatever star system you were from, those star systems are ahead of ours as far as their evolution. And so we've gone through this. We may have done it more than once, going through complete ascension. And they have too. I feel like there's a little bit of I feel this myself, this like, well, I know so many things he doesn't know, and I've made so much progress, and he's just not there. And, we look at outside actions and behaviors, and we kind of are judgmental about that, thinking like we know more than they do. And just trust and know that their higher self and their deep, soul level of who they are actually is every bit as enlightened and, capable of becoming fully awake here on earth, and that the only reason they're not, or that they're still in the awakening process, is because that was what our souls, agreed to do. We both of us agreed to take on a different role in this venture. And so trust them. They have all the wisdom that they need. And when we project onto them our impatience, our frustration, that's the things, those are the energies that are actually pushing it farther out. It's what I've mentioned before in another one of my videos, where the timeline really is in our hands. And I mean, I know that in some aspects, there's certain things that, have to line up for them, but I feel like those things will line up when we we kind of make these major checkpoints, kind of like Cassidy Kane talks with the energies, and about, different energies that come through, give us an opportunity to level up, or to, lock in, into the next, higher, the fifth dimension and whatnot. And those energies are there to help us do that. But it's still up to us whether we do it or not. And because we are aware of it, that when we do that, I feel kind of like it's, those of us who are awakened, we did take on the leadership role. And in general, I believe it's been the feminine. Whether you're in a male body or female body, I think that most of the awakened twins probably are the ones that embody the feminine aspect. And it's because that's what we came to heal. We came to heal that the feminine, who really are kind of like, they're built to have the channel, and that, to be the ones that transmit the energies from the higher source. And then the males are the ones that are built, by their nature to project it here in this world. So that's why we need to be with our twin. Like, we're here to transmit it from above, and then us through our energies together, then they are the ones that transmit it, help it go out. This is another reason why, I know that even though I'm the one that has gotten the ideas for my business, which is a huge part, it is my, our life purpose here, but I'm the one that got the ideas, and I'm developing and I'm working on it, but it's still all like in this embryonic stage. I haven't actually launched. It should be next week, finally, after, almost a year and a half. And then it still is, one of those things that'll take time. And I've always had this knowledge for ever since I got the idea of the business in the back of my mind, that he would come in to my experience and we would be in union once the business was going. I had to do that on my own. I had to take that leadership of, connecting and then making it happen. And as the feminine, for so many years, we had that channel in that direction from source, but we allowed the masculine, or the masculine, whatever, it happened for 6,000 years or longer, that the masculine was more in control, and the feminine just kind of sat back. We didn't stand up into our own power. And so that is why I believe that the feminine is now really at the forefront of the awakening. Not to mean that we're going to, that we're better, or that we're far more advanced, or that we're, going to accomplish more by any means. It's just that we're the ones that, the feminine aspect is the ones that's taking on what you first see as happening in the twin flame experience. And that the masculine, when they come in, they're going to help. You've done all this thing. It's like a pregnancy. We had, first of all, whether you were physically in union with your twin or not, my twin and I were. And I feel like, that was the seed being implanted for my awakening, and for, the awakening that ended up leading to me, discovering and having the courage to move forward into this, this business idea that I have that will be my mission, our mission. And then yet, that whole gestation period, which is longer than 9 months for me, it's been about 2 years or longer. But it's still part of that. That's what it's been about. And now we're ready to give birth. So, in fact, that was one of the dreams that I had with my twin and I. We were sitting in this giant copper tub of hot water, warm water, and it was dark and there were like candles all around, and he was in the water next to me and I couldn't see him, but I could sense his presence. He was there in the water, and then we had this baby in the water with us. And I don't believe that he and I are going to have children together. We're at the age where we don't need children in our, more children in our lives, but I felt like that baby was representative of the thing that we had given birth to, that there it was. And so I feel like, that the masculine, as they're beginning the awakening process right now, that it's very important for us to allow them to do it in their own time and in their own wisdom, and to trust them and know that just because they on the outside may not seem to know all the things doesn't mean that they're not fully capable. You're doing the work on the energetic level. You're paving the way. Give them the love and the support that they need to continue on, and give them the complete trust of your love that they can do it. And so that was the main thing that I wanted to share. And when I have some more thoughts or insights, I will post another video, but I hope that you all enjoyed that. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, like a video, and make a comment. I'd love to see your comments and hear how these kinds of things resonate for you. And we'll talk to you later. Much love.